Hey guys, Mark McMahon Real Estate. Today I want to talk about debt, good versus bad, because there are two distinct kinds of debt. And I want to go over the differences between the two of them and how you might use one and get rid of the other. If that sounds interesting, please hit the like button, subscribe, and sign up for notifications. Allie loves to see that because she loves it when she posts a video and she gets a lot of views. So help her out, make her happy. Thanks, guys. Anyway, today, debt, good versus bad. What's the difference? I'll tell you right now in a nutshell. Good debt is something where the amount of money you are making from it far outweighs the amount of money you're paying for it. Bad debt, on the other hand, is just bad debt. Doesn't get you anything. You buy a purse, bad debt. You put a purse on a credit card, not good debt. You go to an expensive restaurant, not good debt. None of those things are good debt. But wait, Mark, you say, I had so much fun at the restaurant. That's great. That doesn't make it good debt, because as soon as you leave, that good time's over, right? Good debt keeps returning over time. Think about that. Good debt keeps returning over time. That's what you're looking for when you go and look at the debt that you've got. Bad debt, one trick pony, baby. You go out, buy that purse, you fall in love with it, and 3 weeks later it's like, oh, it's that old thing, right? Or going to a restaurant, could be jewelry. It's like, oh wait, but my wife loves the ring I got her. Great, but it doesn't do anything. So, bad debt, good debt. So let's go over bad debt real quick. Bad debt is very easy. You guys probably all know what it is. Again, I go out and decide to buy a really cool truck, even though I don't need one, and I go into debt for that. Instead of buying, let's say I've got a long commute to work, but I think that cool new F-150 is the car for me because it gets really, realistically 15 miles to the gallon. Versus the Prius, which might be a better deal, less money, and you're gonna get far better mileage. So maintenance and everything else is going to be far less. The tires are smaller, they cost less, the whole 9 yards. So the Prius maybe end up being good debt. It may save you money. If you've got to get a new car, I would suggest buying a used Prius. But the bad debt would be a truck that doesn't make any sense. You don't need it. Another example of bad debt would be paying for things on credit cards that you don't really need. Like I said, we were talked about earlier, restaurants and jewelry and fancy purses and fancy shoes and fancy t-shirts and fancy jeans and fancy notepads. Anything that you buy that you don't really need is bad debt, especially if you're making monthly payments on it at 19 or 20% like most credit cards are. Oh, wait, Mark, it's 0%. Uh-huh. Okay. Statistically, people don't pay off their credit cards when that 0% interest thing ends after a year. They just keep making those payments. All right, so bad debt. There's so many other examples of bad debt. I don't want to keep going on and on, but you guys get the idea. It's anything that doesn't give you more return than you put into it in the first place. Good debt, so let's put here. Most credit card debt is bad. Jewelry, purses. For guys, it could be maybe a surfboard. It could be, cars. Yeah, fast cars they don't need, a fast car. Well, wait a second, a fast car is important, Allie. Why are you saying cars? Why do you have to go there?
Hey, you just put me down for jewelry and purses.
Yeah, well, suck it up and deal with it. Okay, fancy cars. All right, the list goes on and on and on. You guys know what bad debt is. All right, but what I want to talk about mostly is good debt. Good debt is anything that brings you a return. So what could be good debt? Remember I was talking about that truck, okay? So the truck is on this side. Ooh, I can't see that. Truck is on this side and the truck is gonna go on this side too. You know why? Because that truck could actually put another crew to work for you on your construction crew that might make an extra $1,000 a week. Even though the payment on that truck might be $1,000 a month, if you're making an extra $1,000 a week because you've got that truck, you're ending up with $3,000 more per month, right? So that's a win in my book. Let's say you're a school teacher and you want to get your master's because your master's will give you an extra $10,000 a year, which is very common. Or at wherever you work, maybe you get your PhD and now they're bumping you up $50,000 a year. Okay, so let's look at that. So if you have to borrow $20,000 for that, and let's just say that debt is at 5% or 3%, let's just say 3% amortized, or not amortized, yeah, amortized. So we'll just take the 2 times 5 is $1,500. The debt is going to cost you about $120 a month, so that you can make $600 a month more. So a lot of times student loans can be here or they can be over here. Now, I can't read that for crap, but it looks like Stafor corn, but it's student loans, trust me. All right, student loans can be bad if you don't use your loan, if you don't use your college degree, or if you go to a trade school and you don't end up doing that trade, then it's bad debt, my opinion. College experience is wonderful, but it ain't worth 60 or 80 grand in my opinion. That's just my opinion, because I've got kids, and if they're going to go to school just for socializing, then they can go socialize at the beach. Student loan, on the other hand, over here, like we talked about, getting your PhD, getting your master's so that you can get more money from the company you work for, which will give you more credit, which will actually allow you to buy more real estate. Oh yeah, net win. Big time win. And then it also makes you more money every month. So there's a lot of things there that are on the plus column. Other good debt. Let's talk about credit cards. All right, so we have credit cards with high balances. We have credit cards with high limits, and we can actually use those credit cards for deposits on properties because we buy a lot of properties, right? So we can use those credit cards. We get mileage, we pay them off at the end of the month, or whenever we get the money back from escrow, or whenever we close escrow and we'll get our money back out of it. And then we just pay it off. So we don't pay any interest on it, but we do get mileage, and we don't have to use the cash that we've got in the bank for that stuff. Great, win, win, win. But it can be bad if we're buying jewelry, purses, surfboards. Some people can buy fancy cars with those if you got a high enough limit on your credit card. So it can be good, it can be bad. Use it as a tool to make money, awesome. Use it over here to buy stuff you don't need, not so awesome. I'm not saying you can't have all this stuff. We have this stuff. Yuko and I have all of this stuff, except for student loans. We're a little bit too old for that, but we have these things because we've gotten to the point in our lives where we can afford it. But when you're just starting out, you want to avoid all this stuff. You really, if you want to become really successful in real estate, you don't start off with all these bad debts. You start working on the good debt. All right, other good debt is real estate debt. Real estate debt gives you a return forever. And it gets better and better as time goes on. So real estate debt is good. When real estate debt is bad is, let's say you are going to buy an office like this one for your business, but your business doesn't make that much money and you're negative every month. That's what I call bad debt. Yeah, eventually that could turn into good debt, but you're putting yourself at risk. You're front loading your risk, and it's not a good idea to do that either. Now, if it's a smart decision and you know someone's going to want to buy it in a couple of years and you're going to make a ton of money, well, that might be a different story. But if you're putting yourself under financial stress to do it and you don't have a business that supports it, then it's not necessarily good debt. That can go either way. So another example of good debt is remodeling your apartments. All right, so let's say you borrow $50,000 to remodel 2 apartments, and you get to up the rents $300 or $400 a month. Well, I guarantee you that $50,000 you're going to be able to make the payment on that and still cash flow a couple $100 a month. So good debt, right? And the rents will stay where they're at as the debt goes down. So it becomes more and more advantageous as time goes on. And of course, the rents are going to go up. So the payment will get more and more covered. Another one that's really good, in my opinion, is, courses. This is just an example. I did a private money course 11 years ago, and we learned how to do private money, and we've made millions and millions of dollars from that. So I wrote it down here, so I keep referring to this. We paid $1,200 for that private money course. So how much, figure out the return. We've made millions of dollars. What kind of return is that? It's ridiculous, right? So $1,200 so I can learn that and actually put it in practice. That was good. I did the same thing for wholesaling. When we started wholesaling, I took a $9,000 course. All right, and I'd wholesaled before, but I hadn't done it for years. So I took a $9,000 course, and that has returned so much money to me. The be all end all, of course, is buying real estate, because real estate the real estate debt, as long as it cash flows, is going to give you your biggest return more than anything else, because as time goes on, the debt goes down and the real estate value goes up and the rents go up. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting, and I'm hoping Allie can pull this all together, as fragmented as I was, because I had so much I wanted to say and so little time to do it. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, please hit the like button, sign up for notifications, download the list on how to get started, watch these other 2 videos over here that Allie's going to post, and send Allie a message and say thank you for doing such a good job on this stuff. She's really awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you being here. I'll see you next time. Hey, guys, check out these 2 videos. They're really going to help you on your investment journey. I'm also on Instagram. Tons of great video content there. Really good stuff. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.